Have you ever begun a video game only to get completely absorbed in a captivating narrative that you couldn't put down? We do, indeed. The finest narrative games take you on a long trip, which is why this is the case. They inspire you to imagine yourself in the role of a young hero as he embarks on a quest to learn about the many potential the world has to offer. They also provide unparalleled immersion for unparalleled enjoyment. Story games, often known as narrative games, employ the narrative arc to draw players into the game's world. As a consequence, at the beginning of a trip or adventure, players assume control of a young hero. The character is still developing and only begins to become aware of their potential or objectives. They go to a boss encounter, which is the game's grand conclusion, after being prompted to do so by an event or call to action. Along the route, the character is rewarded with commodities, experience, and access to new material that advances them. By the end, the guy feels like he has mastered everything. The finest narrative games take the protagonist's motives into account in order to create an engrossing and compelling plot that resonates with the player. Naturally, some genres are more suited to this than others, but every game has the option of include a big story that directs the player's journey. Because of this, the genre is still quite popular in general, and a ton of original story concepts are being created. Here are the top 10 story-based games. Before starting, don't forget to like and to subscribe our channel. Let's start. Number 10. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice is an action-adventure game with grand plot and challenging gameplay. The protagonist of the tale is Wolf, a 16th century shinobi who embarks on a valiant quest to get vengeance on some evil samurai. Explore feudal Japan while in charge of Wolf as you take out enemies and engage in conflict with malevolent magical creatures. The game's creator is famous video game designer Hidetaka Miyazaki, who also produced the highly regarded video game Dark Souls. Number 9. The Last of Us Remastered. Playing an adventure game, The Last of Us has a convoluted storyline with themes of dread and survival. Take control of Joel, who is the charge of gently escorting young Elle throughout America. Though it's much easier to say than to do. You're being hunted by aggressive foes, so you'll need cunning strategy, skill in battle, and a lot of luck to survive. If you feel up to the challenge, set off on your quest and join the virtual world. Number 8. God of War. For those of you who like the God of War series, we had some exciting news for you. The 2018 version, which includes upgrades, was just launched. Take control of Zeus' son Kratos as you go on a journey through the tales of Norse mythology. To protect oneself against demons, spirits, and possibly the Scandinavian gods themselves, go to the summit of the Nine Realms. A fascinating new entry in the series, God of War is exclusively accessible on the £4. Some of the best films ever created combine a variety of skills to create a unified, engrossing whole. Jaws, The Social Network, and The Shining are all excellent examples of films that are made up of strong, independent parts that work together to make a magnificent work of art. That is undoubtedly the case with God of War. The game's musical soundtrack enriches narrative moments, seamlessly transitions into excellent action gameplay, encourages exploration and mysteries, and rewards you with a better understanding of its characters and its expansive and beautiful universe. God of War is a masterfully crafted assembly of remarkable interconnecting components, deliberate in its design and foreshadowing, which pays off in unexpected ways in both the gameplay and plot. Number 7. Journey. Journey is a video game with deep narratives, gorgeous visuals, and game-changing mechanics. It gets some of the highest reviews in the category. In the highly praised 2012 movie Trip, a robed wanderer embarks on a long trip to find a falling star. If you use your magical rune talents and limitless fortitude, you could just make it through with your health unharmed. The game has no spoken words, yet it heavily relies on magnificent visuals to convey a tremendously compelling narrative. Number 6. BioShock Infinite. Irrational Games produced the first-person shooter video game BioShock Infinite, which was distributed by 2K Games. The third BioShock game, Infinite, was published internationally in 2013 for the Windows, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and OS X platforms. The game's main character, Booker DeWitt, is dispatched to the aerial city of Columbia in the year 1912 to free a little girl called Elizabeth who is being kept hostage. Elizabeth is rescued by Booker, and the two get involved in a power struggle between the founders, a group of nativists in charge of Colombia, and the rebel Vox Populi, who represent the city's working class. Elizabeth has the ability to control the tears that are obliterating the city, and Booker and Elizabeth find that Elizabeth is essential to solving the murky riddles of Colombia. The player controls Booker DeWitt throughout the whole game, who fights and scavenges for supplies, while Elizabeth, who is controlled by AI, provides help. Irrational Games and creative director Ken Levine modeled the setting of the game on historical events around the turn of the 20th century, such as the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition, and the narrative of the game is based on the notion of American exceptionalism. Additionally, they integrated elements from more contemporary occasions at the time, such as the Occupy movement in 2011. Due to troublesome production, the game underwent substantial changes from its original trade fair displays. The creator of the game continued to maintain it beyond its initial release with downloadable content, such as the narrative expansion Burial at Sea, which links the story of Infinite to that of the first BioShock game. Number 5. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. In Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the Peloponnesian War between Sparta and Athens is depicted as occurring in 431 BC. Select a side, fulfill the goals, collect gear, improve your abilities, and vanquish the other factions. The Creed saga has complemented the game's excellent narrative as a superb addition. The top tier. It is compatible with PC, the majority of contemporary consoles, and Google's Stadia gaming platform. Ironically, for a game that is set in ancient Greece, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is everything but Spartan. This epic-size action role-playing game impresses as a terrific journey across a magnificent and breathtaking open world on a scale we've seldom seen. Since there are so few compromises between number and quality, Odyssey exceeds its predecessors to claim the top position among the games in the series. The Peloponnesian War, a lengthy fight between Athens and Sparta for dominance of the ancient Greek world, started more than 2,400 years ago. Assassin's Creed Odyssey starts out here. Since there was a great deal of social and political intrigue, significant land and sea conflicts, and a pervasive sense of myth and legend, it was an excellent period to study. After an astonishing 60+ hours of galloping, sailing, and sloshing over that historical fiction sandbox, it is easy to see why it was worth fighting so hard for. Number 4. Bastion. In the role-playing game Bastion, players take control of the Kid as he explores the surreal terrain in pursuit of missions and foes. Before it's too late to stop the awful tragedy, you must collect the broken pieces and reconstruct the Bastion. Along with exciting gameplay mechanics and a fantastic story, Bastion offers beautiful, eye-catching maps that span the whole game world. Number 3. Titanfall 2. Respawn Entertainment decided to incorporate a single-player campaign in Titanfall 2 in response to criticism of the previous game's absence of one. Phenomenal was the result. The campaign features some of the most exciting story and tactics-based systems available, yet it can be done in a few play sessions. Change between Pilot and Titan mode to achieve your objectives and ensure victory for your squadron. Both PC and console versions of Titanfall 2 are available at a very reasonable price. Number 2. Batman: Arkham Asylum. If you're a lover of superheroes Batman, Arkham Asylum is hailed as one of the greatest narrative video games in the DC universe. The starting point, given that the Joker and his associates are back at it, you are Gotham's last chance. Play as Batman and utilize his stealth skills and fighting prowess to take out the bad guys and restore order to Gotham City. The game has been updated for consoles despite being a bit older, and it still has a strong following. You've heard of Batman, without a doubt, but if you don't read comic books, there's a chance you haven't heard of Arkham Asylum. The legendary mental hospital is somewhat of Gotham City's Alcatraz, having once or twice held every bad guy Batman has ever confronted. Thanks to Eidos and developer Rocksteady, Arkham is now the setting for a superb third-person action game where the mad take over the institution and only you can stop them. As Batman, in addition to having frantic fights with criminals, you also get to utilize fun stealth methods, play with fantastic gadgets, figure out some spectacular puzzles, and do some detective work. In other words, when you play as Batman in a video game, you may do anything you want as long as you weren't expecting to drive the Batmobile. Number 1. Life is Strange. The point-and-click adventure game Life is Strange is one of the best storytelling games for iOS and Android. Why is it so? Because of its simple user interface and episodic visual levels, it's the perfect way to satiate your demand for video games on any device. The gameplay is driven by a time-traveling mechanism that consists of puzzles, tasks, and a fascinating overarching story. Be cautious while making decisions throughout the tale, and don't be surprised when strange things occur in your life. You play Alex Chen, a young adult who had a difficult upbringing and now lives with her brother Gabe in the made-up mining community of Haven Springs, Colorado. Alex utilizes her amazing empathic abilities to uncover the mysteries of the community after a terrible tragedy. I highly suggest you to wait if you haven't watched the trailers yet. Personally, I regret that they told me the nature of the central enigma. The stunning views of Colorado are what make Haven Springs so lovely. Due to the snowy mountains in the background, the wooden bridge separating the bus stop from the main street, which is lined with vibrant flowers and a river stream, and the bus stop itself, this location may be the best in any Life is Strange game to date. It also serves as an effective and captivating tourist advertisement for Colorado. This is it for today's video. What do you think of our video? Tell us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. Thanks for watching.